Ni magwaje zilikuwa zimebastia boys.
That was a move. Wewe fikiria alitoka na mahiki kwa nini? Hiki ngaro. Don't joke. Mimi alikama then.
Hiki ngaro.
These mosquitoes of Nairobi. Nairobi mosquitoes kumbe ni ngaro alikuwa nauma.
Ananyonya tu. Alafu amesema unajua kunyonya wa black hakuna kitu inabaki.
Episode 31, part 1 of Kenya's premier sports video podcast, the 3 Quarters podcast. Today being the 2nd day of July 2017, we're shooting from Kilimani, and we want to thank our host for giving us the opportunity to shoot episode 31, which of course will be dropping in the course of the week on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. As always, we start by thanking the fans, the followers, the viewers, the subscribers, the likes. We don't take it for granted that you guys take about 30 minutes in a week to watch an episode of the 3 Quarters podcast. And on behalf of the team that is the 3 Quarters podcast, all we can say, ni asanteni na shukran sana. We also want to thank our host for this, but we'll talk about that later. Of course, with every passing day, the road to Japan draws closer. As a matter of fact, the Rugby World Cup qualifiers have started. The Rugby Africa Gold Cup is going on as we speak. And we do think that the Kenya Simbas, we are going to make it for the Rugby World Cup in Japan in 2019. As a result of that, and that has been the clarion call of the 3 Quarters podcast from the beginning, we're trying to garner numbers and garner support for the 3 Quarters, for the Simbas and the 3 Quarters podcasters,
yes, as well.
The Kenya Simbas. And how do you support these boys? Hashtag Road to Japan. Jump onto the Road to Japan hashtag. Let's support these boys because we do feel that they have a good chance of being in Japan in 2019 and being ambassadors of this great country of ours. This is Ngasho official noisemaker,
Jeringus Kenyana,
and we get into part 1. Sort of a post-mortem of what has been happening in the international rugby scene. Of course, the games that we have played has been the Elgon Cup. Yep. The first leg being in Kampala, 23-18 to Kenya. Mm-hmm. The second leg being in Nairobi, 33-33 to... actually, it's a draw. Sorry, not to anyone.
To everyone.
To everyone, yes. And that being the beginning of the Rugby Africa Gold Cup.
Yeah.
We also had a test against Germany in Nairobi. So... forget about the test against Germany, but from an Elgon Cup perspective, what do you think about the tournament and Kenya's performance?
Well, over the years, the tournament has always been good. Mm-hmm. Has always been big, actually.
Yes.
It's the biggest game that we have, Kenya, home and away. Mm-hmm. Apart from the tests now, as you mentioned, like Germany.
Yes.
And still, the Uganda game is much bigger. Mm-hmm. The tournament has been growing. Mm-hmm. You can see the numbers, the fans especially. Yeah. Guys are coming in droves nowadays, and it can only get better and better. Yeah. Kenya's play has, in the recent past, let's say, we've been top.
Yes. Yeah.
Aturingi. But we've been the top of our game when it comes against Uganda, but Uganda have stepped up.
Yes.
The Ugandans have really stepped up. Mm-hmm. Case in point, the game there.
Yes.
We narrowly won it by 5 points.
Yes.
Here we drew.
Yes, at home.
At home. Yeah, and considering last year, the way we really went through them.
48-10 in Kampala and I think 45-29 here. Yeah.
So, and I think they really enjoy playing here.
Yes.
Because you can see, whenever we play there, we beat them.
Yes.
Or if it's a win, it's a bigger margin.
Yes.
When it comes here, it becomes a smaller margin.
Yeah.
And then it's also, as I said before, that the tournament has been growing. Mm-hmm. It has now been awarded a test.
Exactly. And perhaps that's the most important thing.
Yeah. It tells.
Yes.
Kitu kizuri kinajitembeza.
Kweli. Okay, fine. That's from the organization perspective of the Elgon Cup, and it's good you're also saying that the performance of Uganda has stepped up.
Yeah.
It's good to note, okay, despite the fact that yes, Kenya has won most of these encounters, we have had a couple of seasons where Uganda has been on top, and you actually do feel that the access is, it's going back towards Uganda because of the way these guys are playing.
Yeah.
I think the introduction of John Duncan as their coach.
These South Africans.
It's really upped their game. And I was rewatching the game on Kwese. Of course, we were there live, but I was watching the game later, and the commentators were saying, fine, you could tell that the commentators didn't know much about what happens in Uganda and Kenya, but they could tell that the Uganda was actually the better team then. As you said, we narrowly beat them in Uganda.
Yep.
So I think also, World Rugby has awarded it test status, and it grows the profile of the game, I think.
Very, very immensely.
Yes, it grows the profile of the game. So we can only hope that we build on what's there right now going forward. And we are seeing even in terms of corporate sponsorship in Kenya, it's not as much in Uganda because it's only Nile who are the main guys.
The sponsor plus the fans.
The sponsor, exactly. So we can only hope that this Elgon Cup keeps growing, because then it improves this game both here and in Uganda, and it directly impacts on the way us guys are playing, even against other teams.
True.
That's true. Going forward, we still aren't done with the Rugby Africa Gold Cup. We play Tunisia next week. That's the 8th of July 2017. After that, we play Senegal on the 15th of July 2017. From what you've seen out of the 3 games, Elgon Cup and Kenya versus Germany, what do you think our guys need to work on? I know we've mentioned it, but it's always good to drive a point home. What do you think we need to work on against Tunisia and against Senegal?
Once again, I think when you saw the Germany game, we lost everything. The scrums, the breakdowns.
Yes.
But come Uganda, we improved on our scrums.
Yes.
Especially the home game.
Yes.
We can only get better. I think these guys know, they can see the weaknesses that we've had, and they're working on it. Our scrums need to be better. Our racks, especially securing our racks, that needs to be really fantastic. And also, I think our quick balls need to improve, because we are more of a running team.
Yes, that's true.
So I think we can, if we get those, fine tune on those aspects, we'll have a good game against Tunisia.
I mean, we're coming up against teams that are very good in forward play. You're talking about Tunisia, you're talking about Senegal.
Do you see that hooker?
Exactly, the Senegal hooker against Zim. And I do agree with you what you're saying, that these guys are going to try to choke us at the breakdown. Because you don't want Kenya releasing quick ball. If you release quick ball, then you're beating any team. Okay, let me be realistic. We're going to beat the guys that we're going to be beating we're going to be beating the guys that we are coming up against. So if they choke us at the breakdown, then we're going to be having a long problem. So it boils down to what you're saying. Our guys need to go to those racks.
We need secure. Don't let only one guy
contest the racks. We have to also contest their racks.
Turn over the ball.
Exactly. We have to look for turnovers. If we can be able to do that, and it's just about the breakdown, I think our lineouts are good.
We have
Oliver Mangeni there. I think our scrums are decent. They've improved from the Germany game. But if we don't get this breakdown issue sorted out, we're going to be we're going to be having a long day in the office. So I think we need to focus on that, and hopefully they'll listen to us. Crossing fingers, and we can be able to have a good outing against Tunisia and Senegal. As we're speaking about the Rugby Africa Gold Cup, you want to give us the results for
the other games?
Yes.
We had Tunisia hosting Namibia. They lost 53-7. Then Senegal were hosting Uganda, and they lost as well 17-16.
As a result of what you're talking about, Elgon Cup, you see all the guys are going away, and they're being able to,
and they're winning away.
So Uganda actually on top now.
As it stands right now.
Uganda on top. It's gonna be a tough outing for us.
Very tough.
We were very confident at the end of last season when we finished Hong Kong. When we played Hong Kong, I'd say personally, I even told you before the game that I'm actually having jitters about how outing is going to be this season. But we do trust that the guys are going to keep it in check, and let's see how that goes. Kenya versus Tunisia. What do you want from the fans?
Tuendelee vivyo hivyo.
Yes.
Let us come and support our boys. And as you always say, these are the superstars of the game.
Yes.
And they need that, the 23rd man behind them.
24th.
24th.
The
24th.
Yes.
The 24th man.
Yes.
Once we get there, let's cheer these boys on. It's always nice to have, knowing that you have some guys behind you. Either rooting for you to win. So, fans, Johnny, tujaze kabisa.
You've heard it from Goose. We ask you guys to come in droves to support the Kenya Simbas when they play Tunisia on 8th of July 2017 at the RFEEA grounds, and after that, of course, they'll be taking on Senegal on the 15th of July 2017. Therefore, come in numbers to support these boys, because as we keep on saying, these guys are the superstars of rugby in Kenya. If they play well, then Kenya's rankings and stature in the world of rugby grow. If they don't play well, then we do drop in the rankings, as is evident, and they do need our support. So let's give them our full support come the 8th and 15th of July 2017. That has been episode 31, part 1 of Kenya's premier sports video podcast, the 3 Quarters podcast. As always, we ask you guys to like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thus far, tunasema asanteni.
Shukran.
This is Ngashi, official noisemaker.
Jeringus Kenyana.
Stay tuned for episode 31, part 2.